153, diversion clear, Sewell.
With spending the weekend in West Georgia, I decided to take a little day trip and hit Norfolk Southern's East End district this afternoon to see what trains would be out and about. I heard NS Train 153 over the radio and caught them going through CP Sewell, the east end of the siding in Bremen, Georgia. They are running through on the siding due to track work on the main line. It was nice to see a little bit of Union Pacific power in the mix today. Being this was the only train in the area, I chased them west to the Tallapoosa River Bridge. This is one of my favorite spots on the east end, with the main road next to the railroad trestle going over the river, making for a nice westbound shot. The eastbound shot isn't bad as well, with a little rocky scene on the south side of the tracks. Lighting is usually pretty good for westbound movements over the river in the late afternoon/early evening times. This shot today was slightly backlit, but they were moving at speed. If you noticed, as the train was passing, a turtle had popped out from the water onto the embankment for a little sunbathing. But he couldn't do it alone. A few more of his friends decided to join him. It was too beautiful of a day to be sitting in the water all day. At this point, I wasn't intentionally chasing the 153, but I crossed state lines catching up to the rear of their train at Heflin. Since I was with them again, I set my target to CP Ardrey, witnessing them pounding the interlocking at speed. Train 186 behind me had just tied down their train and was waiting on a crew van to take them either to Atlanta or back to Birmingham. A relief crew would come out of Birmingham and taxi out later in the afternoon to take the train the rest of the way to Atlanta. This is a spot I've been wanting to check out for a while on the East End. This is the milepost 739 intermediate signal in Welborn, Alabama. There's not very many of these kinds of signals left on the East End, as far as I know anyways. This one in particular is built overhead rather than on the side, like this one at the milepost AG40 intermediate on the AGS North District. I was all set up ready to shoot eastbound train 154, but just before reaching me, their emergency air brake shot and brought them to a sudden halt.
Yes, there's 154. We're in emergency. 739.7. Doesn't appear to be coming up on the rear.
You train?
No, sir.
You say it's not coming up on the rear?
Nothing yet, the engineer says. He's still pumping on it, but it doesn't look like it's coming back.
You going when you in emergency?
24 miles per hour.
Since their air wasn't restoring, the conductor got down on the ground and walked the train, luckily not far, only about 11 to 12 cars back, finding that an air hose had separated. But when the brake shot, they were moving at 24 miles an hour. Per rule, that's 1 mile an hour under from being able to proceed without inspecting the entire train. That meant the conductor had to inspect the rest of the train, making sure everything else was good to go.
and 12.
Alright, there goes separation between the line 11 and 12.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Alright, get pressure coming back up now.
Pressure has restored.
Since you were going 24, you'll have to finish. Conductor will have to inspect the rest of the train over.
Yes, sir, he's in the process.
Okay, alright.
After about a 45-minute delay, they got back on the move east towards Anniston.
Yes, sir, it's 154. Back on the move. About a 45-minute delay. Engineer give you the information on the air hose separation.
It said 11th and 12th car. Do you have the car numbers?
Yeah, let me look.
I leaped over to Lardent to get them again at speed. Lardent is one of the only places where the tracks run in a north-south direction, making for perfect light. With not much traffic on the east end this afternoon, I decided to chase them back east, but only to find out that they went into emergency again around milepost 722 with the same situation, an air hose separation. So that threw my plans out chasing 154. But the 186 relief crew made it out to the tied down train at Ardrey and departed ahead of the 154 before they went into emergency. At least I have something to chase back east. I first ran into the 186 at a road crossing in the middle of Edwardsville Foster Siding, also having Union Pacific power. That makes his chase a little more worth it now. With no opposing traffic coming west, they would have a straight shot at least to Lithia Springs. I didn't chase them the whole way. I cross state lines back into Georgia, waiting for the 186 to climb the hill through Tallapoosa. They have a high green ahead of them, making noise through the small town.
Bremen would be the next stop as they are seen crossing the sea line, continuing down the main line.
672 Intermediate would be my last spot before calling it a day. The 186 eases into Villa Rica city limits crossing Van Wert Road, otherwise known as 41 Tank. Each train that I shot today all had a little mix of Union Pacific added to their power. I call that a win on this little adventure. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe to the channel and enable that notification bell as well. See y'all next time from Villa Rica, Georgia at milepost 672.5 along Norfolk Southern's East End District.